Okay, so in the last video, looked over the 1 versus the 8 matchup, Broad Street Braylums versus Cali Camreps. In this one, we're going to look at the Sacramento Suicunes versus the Stonehenge Stakatakas. Obviously, played both of them earlier in the year. You can see Stakatakas had a good year. Suicunes had a really good year. Stakatakas have a stacked roster. Haha. I won by getting incredibly lucky. They definitely it's a great team, and he's actually Prime has made some really good moves throughout the season, made this team just a monster. If you look at it, there's so much synergy between the different Pokemon. It's actually ridiculous. So Cottony does everything that freaking S tier Whimsicott does, except for Tailwind, which Aerodactyl takes care of, or Frostless can do Icy Wind, or there's really a myriad of different options. His team is also slow enough that they can really thrive in Trick Room, so you're not safe up necessarily setting off Trick Room. Weakness policy stuff is definitely a possibility. Crocodile is great at setting off Metagross's weakness policy. There's also another extraordinarily dangerous option, which is Frostlass into Crocodile, setting off Anger Point, and that'll just annihilate you if you're not ready for it. So yeah, it's fun. This is a really fun team. It's a really well put together team. If you look, there's just so few redundancies. This team does really well. Again, Tangela, underrated. Redirection is so valuable. It's a great team. And Prime, of course, is a really, really good player. You're never going to get bailed out by a bad decision from Prime. Prime just doesn't panic, doesn't make bad calls. He's extremely talented. Foil Feline, of course, is the other seed. By the way, I'm talking them up so much. This is the 7th seed. This league is stacked, yo. Foil Feline led the Sacramento Suicunes to a really overwhelming performance. And if you look at the team, the team's really good. I really think if you showed most people all of these rosters and you asked them, okay, which team won their first 10 games and was really seriously challenged maybe once in all those 10 games? Which team? I really don't think they would look at this roster and be like, oh yeah, Blaziken, Suicune, this is the one. But it's a testament to Foil Feline's preparation going into it, team building skills, as well as just incredible gameplay. So this team is powerful. Again, diversity is really cool. Kind of like how in this team, Crocodile can be either the setter, like bulldoze to lower opponent's speed and prop Metagross's weakness policy, or it can be the Anger Point dominator set off by Frostlass. There's so many things that this team can be. Blaziken obviously is really powerful at speed boosting, so the Suicunes don't even need to try to set up speed control, which, by the way, they have a gajillion forms of speed control. It's already there. Duskull is really bad at setting Trick Room compared to Dusclops. It's nowhere near as bulky, but it can do it. And there's enough support. There's Thwacky to set up, fake out, etc. But the Suicunes, I don't think they've run Trick Room at all this season, if I remember correctly. It's pretty much all been speed, because if you had, Drifloon setting Tailwind or Suicune setting Tailwind, what wouldn't you do? I remember quite memorably, I had max speed Cinderace back. I don't have Cinderace anymore, but I had max speed Cinderace, and Mudsdale under Tailwind, if you invest in Mudsdale speed, Mudsdale under Tailwind does outspeed Cinderace by a point, and that became very important in our match, and I got my butt handed to me. So, Tailwind's really powerful. Thundurus is just so good for a couple of different reasons. Thundurus can be obviously really offensive with Defiant, and or it can just be a support piece with Prankster. And both of those are just absolutely terrifying. Thundurus definitely deserves to be an S tier. And it's doing well. For a Pokemon that really runs 3 attacks, its coverage is not great as far as I know. Certainly as far as what people actually do with it, it's not great. Oh, hey. Someone's in this document. Someone with an F. Wonder who that is. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so this team obviously runs fast, and Latios is super powerful. Mudsdale can get really powerful. Thundurus can swagger Mudsdale, and if Mudsdale's own tempo, it can boost its attack like that quite painlessly. Or Mudsdale can also run what's the other super cool ability? Whatchamacallit? Stamina. Thank you. Whereas it takes physical hits, it just gets tougher and tougher to beat. Glaceon is really, this team's so good. Glaceon, I don't know if Foil Feline has run this at any point this season, but Glaceon is really great for proccing weakness policies. So there's a lot going on in this team. It works, again, really, really well. There's so many different threats. You could easily get mowed down by Suicune. It has really good stats. It's a legendary. And if you're not prepared for it, you will get mowed down by it if that's what Foil brings. Latios, also legendary, super, super powerful. And if you're not prepared, goodbye you. So, all right, so let's look at the matchups. Metagross, I feel like if Stonehenge Stakatakas, one thing I want to do in this is I want to think, okay, if you told Prime, hey, build your best team out of this draft, and we're just going to throw you in for a random game on Showdown on the VGC 2021 ladder. What's your best 6 without even looking at the opponent? It's probably Crocodile to proc policy on Metagross. Intimidate Crocodile to proc policy on Metagross. And then you're probably hoping that Crocodile dies quickly so that you can replace it with Tangela and Rage Powder attacks away. You might also want Rotom Heat. You could even run Ally Switch on Rotom Heat because Rotom Heat obviously loves to get hit with ground type attacks that Metagross is so afraid of. And Prime has run Aerodactyl a lot because of Tailwind. But I think you'd want Primarina in the back as a Trick Room answer. If you were again playing against just normal. And then so probably Rotom Heat, Crocodile, Tangela, Primarina, Aerodactyl, Metagross. But he does have a lot of other options. Whereas Foiled, I think Foiled's best team, again, just against a random team on the ladder, would probably be Drifblim, Thundurus, offensive Thundurus. Suicune, Latios, then probably Thwackey, honestly, and Blaziken. Although people would be like, WTF, why are you running Thwackey? Anyway, so those are the base teams. But I think the main thing that Foiled is going to have to look at is you got to have an answer for freaking Metagross. And Blaziken, I would be astonished if Blaziken can OHKO Metagross. I would be astonished if Mudsdale can OHKO Metagross. Special Blaziken might. Metagross's special defense is not that great. I'm going to see. I don't actually know if this will work. Oh, by the way, this is just a little throwback from my RTT match. But, so let's look at this. Metagross. There's Mega. LOL, what are Megas? I don't know what Megas are. So Metagross level 50 against, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Mudsdale. Let's look at Mudsdale. Sure, but I don't want. Let's say max attack, adamant, Mudsdale. Not 100. Let's level 50. So it does OCO normal bulky Metagross. Max Quake does, although definitely not after receiving a Max Steel Spike boost. And then, of course, obviously, if it's Dynamax, then that actually is not much damage, and then you just went and procced his policy for him. So maybe not great. Of course, then what if your weakness policy? It's a little more respectable, right? And then Blaziken. Yeah, I think you'd want. Whoa, what the? Anyway, that was weird. Blaziken, let's just do this and then we'll just fix it to make it special. Yeah, because you don't want to be hitting him with special. Look at that. That's a 130 physical defense. Let's make this a special attacker, and we'll make it. Heck, we'll make it modest. I don't know why he's gonna need to run Jolly. Although, I mean, I guess to outrun Metagross. No. If he's modest, and instead of Flare Bits, if we have Fire Blast, Dynamax. Yeah, so that is against. Oh my gosh, yeah. So that's 88% to Dynamaxed max HP for special defense Metagross. So that's probably his better answer, or Foil's better answer. You know, you definitely. Whoa, that's the wrong tab. Yeah. Anyway, so you definitely want to respect Blaziken, I think, if you're the Suicunes. Of course, the Stakatakas with the problem, of course, with Tangela as your redirector is it's not going to enjoy Blaziken either. If I'm the Suicunes, I'm thinking I got to run Blaziken because I gotta have an answer for Metagross. If you do not have an answer for Metagross will just absolutely obliterate you. Problem is Blaziken is really trash against the rest of his team. Again, except for Tangela, it's not bad against obviously Frostlass because it's super effective there. But yeah, like what else is it doing with its fighting attacks? It can threaten Crocodile, but I think Crocodile as Intimidate Mon threatens it. It, I think, almost obliges the Suicunes to run Defiant Thundurus because it's just such a great opportunity to take advantage if Prime is greedy enough to try and run Intimidate on it. But then again, now I'm looking at if I'm Prime, I'm thinking, Crocodile with Intimidate, that's going to run afoul of Thundurus, so it's going to be negative value against Thundurus. Mudsdale, if its own tempo, which it should be, won't care. Stoutland barely does damage anyway. You're really just shutting down Thwacky, and that's sucky. So if I'm Prime, I'm thinking, Crocodile I'll keep with Anger Point, and you could then self-proc with Frostlass. It doesn't have any really great counterplay to that, again, except for Blaziken. Blaziken with the fighting coverage can do some damage to Crocodile, but obviously Crocodile is going to one-shot it pretty comfortably. If I'm the Stakatakas, probably what I'm going to do is Frostlass Crocodile, Anger Point, and try and win some, escape some games with the Ally Switch stuff. I'm going to avoid proccing that Defiant, right? You should be pretty effective. I'm probably going to leave Tangela at home. Primarina is really good against pretty much the entire team. So Primarina, even though it's slow, might not be bad. It might be no, probably not a Scarf Primarina game. Maybe a Specs Primarina. I'm not sure. But yeah, and I would give Crocodile the Life Orb, maybe, or maybe the Assault Vest. No, probably Assault Vest on Crocodile, because if you're going to max it to 4 times attack, like, it's going to kill something every single turn. Like, there's no way Latios protected survives max darkness from Crocodile. Like, it's not happening. At +4 or at +6. So if I'm probably running, Assault Vest to minimize the damage. And that's such a good lead for him. Metagross, I think, is really good. So again, then the Suicunes have to have something. I don't know. These are my ideas. And so if I'm the Suicunes, then I'm thinking, okay, so what can I do to stop that? Scarf Suicune doesn't look bad. It's kind of a weird item to run on it, but nothing on the Stakatakas besides maybe Primarina and of course Tangela is going to enjoy Scald. I think Mudsdale with weakness policy is also a really good strategy, but it's still not going to take a hit from Crocodile. So you're going to need something to be able to take that out. So that may actually be where like a Focus Sash Mr. Mime or Focus Sash Duskull is important. Glaceon? Scarf Glaceon should be able to do a lot of damage. Although again, if he's running Assault Vest Crocodile, which I would recommend, then special attackers are less fun. Thwacky, of course, has priority no matter what. So that's really good. And Prime doesn't have terrain control. Terrain control is really hard to have. So that's what I would do. I think that's really Prime's best chance. Otherwise, this team is just really, really powerful. And so, but that's a sign of good team building. He's got two really, really, really dominant threats, and then so many other good pieces that go along with it. Same thing with the Suicunes. You can get destroyed by offensive Thundurus, by Latios, by Blaziken. Suicune, like I remember when I went against him, I was so freaking scared of offensive Blaziken. I'm like, this destroys my entire team. Gotta take it out, and I like Dynamax to get rid of it turn 1, and then like Foil just completely ignored me and just went ham on me with who even was his offensive threat? I think it was Mudsdale, and just absolutely went ham on me. So woohoo. All right, so that's the end of this rather long recording. Again, I'm not going to make a prediction on who's going to win. I don't think there's any market for hearing me say that. I think it's going to be a really good game, and I expect some really hype tech. I expect a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. I expect Focus Sashes on unexpected Mons. I expect, moves that we haven't really seen. Definitely expect a lot of self-procking. And may the best player win. So, the last thing I'm just going to say is no shade at all to Foiled. Foiled dominated the league for the first 10 weeks of the league. Foiled is, if not the best player, very, very, very close. And honestly, maybe just the best player. It's really a testament to Prime's skill that I think this is anyone's game, because Prime's going up against basically alongside the Broad Street Bralims. You're going up against one of the two teams that just absolutely freaking dominated the entire season. I'm going to try and click on this without. Yeah, there we go. I mean, look at this. You got two teams that are just absolutely freaking dominant, and I think the Stakatakas have a decent shot at taking them down. So, good luck, y'all. Have a great day, and good luck. Have fun.